Myself Supriya Pasnur, working as an assistant professor in Civil Department from Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. Today's class we are going to see the introduction to the rainwater harvesting. These are the learning outcomes. At the end of this session, students will be able to impart the knowledge of the concept of the rainwater harvesting. So as you know, water is a very essential for all the life of different forms, such as whether it may be a human being or an animal or the vegetation. Water is an essential factor which may be collected, and in that case water actually, to sustain the life, you have to have a adequate supply of the water. And if suppose there is a insufficient supply of the water, so over there the rainwater harvesting or comes into existence, or any other source other than the rainwater harvesting comes into scope. So it is a technology used for collecting and storing the rainwater from the rooftops, the land surface or the roof catchments. So the rainwater harvesting is a sustainable process that helps in preserving the water for the future needs. So in case of the non-rainfall seasons, when there is a lesser quantity of the water available, so in that case you can go for the rainwater harvesting, in which you can store the water in a large quantity, which can be utilized during the non-rainfall periods. So the need for the rainwater harvesting, it prevents the soil erosion, it prevents the depletion of the underground water and replenish the water table, and increases the awareness of the conserving the water, and reduce the rate of the surface runoff. So actually it preserves the water during which can be utilized as during the non-rainfall periods, so that it can have a sustainable life for all the human beings and the animals, as water is a very essential factor for all the living things. So the main goal, it improves the living conditions, as you can increase the crop production, and even you can reduce the the groundwater table, and hence you can increase the level over there, and it substitutes the groundwater and reduces the flood risk, and reduce the soil erosion risk, and it recharges the groundwater. So these are the main goals of the rainwater harvesting. So depending upon the classification, and depending upon the purpose of the water, so there are two types of the rainwater harvesting. First one is the surface runoff harvesting, and second is the roof water rainwater harvesting. So depending upon the purpose and the collection of the rainwater, it is broadly classified into two types. So these are the components of the rooftop rainwater harvesting. So actually in the surface runoff, in the urban areas, you can see the water actually it is collected through the surface runoff, and it is collected to the surface runoff, and this water actually can be utilized for the aquifers, and it can be stored over there. So whereas the rooftop rainwater harvesting, the water which is collected through the roof of the buildings, that water it can be stored in the small storage tanks or in the large storage tanks, and as it is a naturally available factor, so even the construction of that will be less effective, and it is too effective and less costly also, and even the maintenance of that will be less, and the labor requirement will be also too less, as it is a maintenance cost is not needed over there, so even the labor requirement will be also less. So due to that, it is an economical factor over there. And even the construction materials, you can see in the roof catchment, the components of the roof catchment and the drain pipes, the gutters, down pipes, first flush pipe, filter unit, the storage tank and the collection sump, and finally is the pump unit. So these are the components of the rooftop rainwater harvesting system. So this is a typical rooftop harvesting system. So here you can see the from the roof catchment. So the material which is used for the roof catchment will be the um, galvanized iron sheets, whereas the thatched roofs they are not suitable for this type of the construction. And even the from the roof catchment, the water will be collected in the gutters, and through the gutters it will be passed on to the pipes, which are the vertical pipe. Here you can see this is a first flush pipe, and an inclined pipe is provided which is called as the down pipe. And through the here in between the flush above the first flush pipe there is a T junction pipe, and from the down pipe it will be passed on to the filter unit, and from the filter unit finally it goes on to the storage tank, and from the storage tank a collection pit is provided to the storage tank, which will be made up of the brick masonry. So let's see the components over here. So in the roof catchment, first component was the roof catchment. Over there you can see that the water, it can be collected from the roof of the buildings or the houses, and over there the materials used for the construction will be the asbestos sheets, or the even the thatched roofs or the galvanized roof. They are not feasible for that. So the roof catchment, actually depending upon the where there is a heavy rainfall, over there this type of the roof rainwater harvesting can be used over there, and water can be stored in the large storage tanks or in a small storage tanks. And next we have the drain pipes. So the drain pipes, mostly the PVC pipes are have been used over there. And next is the gutters. So from the roof the water will be passed on to the gutters. So the gutters will be provided to over the edges of the roof all around to collect and transport the rainwater from the roof to the storage tanks. So the shape of the gutters, it may be of a rectangular shape or may be of a semicircular. So it will be provided through the edges of the roof. So next is the down pipe. So here you can see the down pipe, it will be of size 7.5 centimeter in the diameter, and in between the first flush pipe and the down pipe a T junction is provided, T joint is provided, and a valve is provided below the T junction, so that to avoid the to allow the passage to allow the water to pass on to the down pipe. So during the non-rainfall period, the water which will the dirt, dust or the debris which will be collected on the floor, it will be collected on the floor, and during the rain period that water will pass on, and that debris and the dust will be collected in the first flush pipe, and so the valve is provided over there, so that when it is released that water will be passed on to through the down pipe, and so the debris will be collected in the first flush pipe. And next we have the first flush pipe. It is around 7.5 centimeter in the diameter, and this is a joint of the down pipe and the gutters, which are made up of which are joined using the rubber, and this is a T junction, and this is a gate valve. And next is the first flush pipe. So here a valve is provided, as I have said you. So the water from the gutter, it will be passed on through the first flush pipe, and then the inclined pipe is provided, which is called as the down pipe. So the valve is released over here, so that the water will be passed on through the down pipe, and whatever the debris and the silt or the salt content is there in the water, it will be collected in the first flush pipe. So next after the first flush pipe, just I will tell you the typical layout. So the water will be collected in the filter unit. You have the salt content and all, it will be collected in the filter, and then the water from the down pipe, it will be passed on to the storage tanks, and from the storage tanks, as per the utility of the water, it will be collected in the collection pip. So to the collection pip a tap will be provided over there, and this is constructed mainly of the brick masonry. And the storage tank, it will be depending upon the capacity of the water tank, whether it may be a small storage tank or a large storage tank. So small storage tanks, it may be like a small buckets or the small jars like that, whereas the storage tanks, which will be of a larger capacity, it may be constructed of a RCC, uh, RCC or the stone masonry. So next, these are the advantages of the rainwater harvesting. So it provides a good supplement to the other water sources, thus relieving the pressure on the other water sources, and it can supply as a buffer and can be used in the times of the emergency or the breakdown of the public water supply systems. And it also helps to reduce the storm drainage load and the flooding in the cities. And actually it helps the human beings to increase the crop production, and during the so that the water which is available to sustain this life, it should be, it helps in preserving that water. And these are the disadvantages. In terms of the complex constructions, there is a requirement for the high costs, the trained professionals, and even the maintenance cost may add to the monetary burden. If not maintained properly, then it can cause various problems in the terms of the legal or the bacterial growth, algae growth and all. So the tanks, if not constructed properly, they might result in the leakages, and the metal tanks may also lead to the problems such as the corrosion or harming the water quality. So actually, as it is a the maintenance is not much needed for that. So due to the avoidance taking care of the tank, it may have a leakage problem over there, and even the maintenance cost of this will be less, and even the cost construction is also less over here. So here are the MCQs. These are the references. Thank you.